I had to go into the city
Right.
on Sunday.
Right.
And I usually go into the city because I had an audition in the city, right?
Woo!
And you just sit in the train. If you're by yourself, you don't really talk to anyone. You either listen to your iPod, headphones in.
But then sometimes you get the awkward eye contact.
Yeah.
You're just looking around, I'm looking at you now. Ooh, look away.
We will touch on that. But I was looking out the window, and as you get into the city, the graffiti gradually gets
Yeah, it
worse
starts
and worse.
off slow.
And graffiti never looks good unless it's like really
proper art.
Like proper art. What I was noticing was the ridiculous places that graffiti is in. These people go to so much. They must go to so much effort to put graffiti.
Yes.
Like, there's graffiti like in the middle of a massive concrete wall. Like, I don't know. It's like I don't know how long's a foot. Like 40 feet up in the air.
Yeah.
And there's no way that unless they use like rock climbing gear to actually
abseil down to that.
3 o'clock in the morning. What do you feel like doing? Rock climbing. Let's go graffiti.
Let's go
It's
graffiti.
just someone actually took the time. Right over Chapel Street, there's a big billboard. You know the 7 p.m. project?
Yeah.
It's got Dave Hughes,
Carrie Bickmore,
and
Charlie Pickering.
Yeah, they got those three, right?
Yep.
And this billboard was placed it'd be very hard to get to unless you actually shimmied up the pole, right? Because I didn't see...
Hang on, what's a shimmy?
Crawl that...
You know what a shimmy is? Anyway.
Okay, sorry, yeah,
right.
Go on.
So this is quite a hard to get to billboard. Not to mention, it's in the middle of Chapel Street, and no matter what time it is in Chapel Street, there's going to be someone there.
Mm.
And it was kind of funny because someone had added a monocle to Carrie Bickmore's face and a mustache, and the old tooth missing to Dave Hughes, and they've done the stereotypical facial adjustments to all of them.
The devil horns, were they there?
Yeah, the devil horns over there. There's even a devil tail coming out one time with them. But and they got the eye patch.
Blacked out tooth.
I said that before. Blacked out tooth.
Get with it.
I'm listening.
And I just as my train went under the bridge, I just thought,
impressive.
Impressive, but not in a good way. But still, how did they manage that?
Yeah, no, there's definitely some parts of the world where people are just impressive
because
to get to.
What I'm doing here is I'm thinking someone who goes around at 2 o'clock in the morning graffitiing isn't the type of person to put effort into life. But obviously, obviously to make their mark, they're going to put a lot of effort into making graffiti.
Yeah. Well, there are some graffiti out there that is actually quite impressive. And
definitely.
And if you can do that, then I would get in contact with this.
Just as long as it's not
not stupid.
It can't be on private property.
No.
It's got to be.
I kid you not. I have seen graffiti on the back of a police car.
That's risking it for the biscuit.
That's ballsy.
That is risking it for the biscuit.
Not only can there be graffiti in hard-to-reach places, and, for example, the back of a police car, they can also be in extremely dangerous places.
There's one over the Narre Warren where the railway bridge is.
Yeah.
The railway where it bypasses over Narre Cranbourne.
Yeah.
There's always graffiti along there. I'm like, so you're either going to get hit by a train or fall into oncoming traffic. But it's okay, because his tag was up there.
Because he's left his mark, and no one knows the mark.
But you can't even read them. It's like, was here.
Sorry, how would you spell that?
And that's what it looks like. I'm like, oh, Mum, look, was here.
I wish we need to put a picture of that up on the video.
His facial expression saying those words.
It's quite accurate.
It's quite accurate.
But just all that effort. I mean, I can understand if you were saving someone's life, but...
What, saving someone's life with graffiti?
No, you see
someone call 000.
No, I'm saying you put that much effort if someemon's in danger, but this is just graffiti. What's the point?
Well, a lot of people are dedicated artists, and you see some
But
artists...
half of it isn't even art, it's just
Eamon
said, just a scribble.
Yeah, writing some crap. It's normally their initials or their first
It's their
name
initials or it's a phrase or
something that relates to them. And it's plain stupid.
It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. Nor is it legible. It just looks like a 2-year-old has gotten a massive crayon and gone,
I did good, Mom!
I did good, Mom. I made some graffiti.
Is public kissing antisocial
Depends
behaviour?
what kissing you're doing. If it's out kissing, tongue...
Yeah, I think
that's wrong.
Actually, I did see something that shocked me. I was walking at Chapel Street. I don't know whether this is just because I'm not cultured enough, but I was walking up Chapel Street and like, you know how, like, shops have little, like, in bits? Like, there's the wall and then there's the door?
Yeah.
So I was walking along Chapel Street, and something caught my eye, so I turned around, did a double take. This is about 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
There's a couple just going at it, making out against one of these walls.
I thought you said making out.
Jesus Christ, Johnny. Be more precise with what you
Well,
said.
yeah, obviously not doing it, but,
Well,
like, they were close. It definitely looked like it. They were just, this is in broad daylight. This isn't even after, like, club time. This is...
what store were they standing in front of?
I actually can't remember. It was a
Club
clothes...
X.
It was a clothes
Thing.
store. It was this is in full broad daylight. Quite a busy day.
Right.
Sunday afternoon in Chapel Street is fairly busy because they got
Yeah.
nice cafes.
Yeah,
and all that. Well, it's just, and there's kids walking past and they're just
Going
making
at it.
out.
With their arms flailing around and then...
They were more like a massive human knot.
Well, I was catching a bus
Wow.
the other day.
That's a weird
Well,
image.
when I say the other day, it was more like
Weeks ago.
months ago.
Why were you
Yeah.
catching a bus? You drive.
Well, this is before I had my license.
So
and-
a long time ago.
I walked onto the bus, it was a public bus, and there was a bloke, he looked about 17, sitting on the back seat, but mounting him, like, he had his girlfriend literally sitting across his lap, facing him on the back, like she was she was riding him like a horse, and they were just, like, making out and, like, grinding all, and I walked on the bus, and it was the worst thing ever, because
It was super awkward?
it was!
Super awkward.
I can imagine it would be, especially if, like, imagine if you were on the bus first and they sat behind you.
Yeah.
Wow.
And,
Well, how do you think that's socially acceptable?
But I think the worst bit about it was, as we're driving along, I just kept my eyes forward. You can see the bus driver through that little mirror?
Yeah.
I kept catching him doing the sneaky glance backwards. And just, oh. Oh.
So he wasn't like, one of those kids. He was more like, yeah.
It was a...
Go at it. What if he slammed on the brakes and they just fell forward? Were they in the middle seat of the back seat?
Or
Is
maybe
that
he
the
just
aisle?
accelerated brake to make them...
to encourage some movement there.
I went to junior school at Beacon Hills.
Yeah.
And it was very sheltered from anything
They're very
external.
sheltered, though.
Because it is a private school.
Yeah.
So it was a very sheltered junior school, and they didn't teach about anything. My God, when we got to sex ed, and I learnt that a vagina was different to a penis, I thought a girl had, an external organ like a penis.
Yeah.
Because that's as far as I knew.
Yeah.
So when I learnt that the vagina's, not external.
Yep.
I was shocked.
See what I thought. I
was amazed.
They were explaining. Did you guys ever get the pill lecture about the pill?
No.
I probably did.
They got all the girls in the room, and then for some reason all the guys were in there too.
Oh no, we got kicked out.
As if they thought about kicking us out, but then they were like, nah, it's alright, they can stay in here. So they were teaching us about the pill.
When was this?
Years of G6.
Okay.
Teaching us about the
Why are
pill.
you teaching grade 6 girls about the pill?
Oh, they were sexual education.
You do learn
yeah, but
it.
you shouldn't be learning about contraception until, like...
We learnt about condoms. I think that's more for STDs, though,
Yeah.
than contraception.
So this is what happened. They were telling us about the pill, and they were like, as soon as you start the pill, you have to stay on it, right? So I was like, okay, fair enough.
Challenging.
And then like after sex,
Whoa.
as a contraception, after sex, the pill should be taken. So I took that to mean that, okay, so let's say you have sex like once, and then you take the pill for 5 years, and then I thought immediately if you miss the pill, you get pregnant. Like, even if it's 5 years after sex, I was like, what? So does that mean the girl has to take the pill every single day after sex, or they get pregnant? That's what I thought it.
And
meant.
they would have probably said yeah. Otherwise, they will get pregnant because that's like.
That's what they said.